contest.
Oh, look at this!
After the unfortunate loss in his UFC debut,
The tap's right there before it. That's
Magomed Ankalaev came back with a vengeance and 9 straight victories. Now he is on the verge of becoming the UFC Light Heavyweight champion. It's about time to take a look at the Dagestani striker's thorny path, full of stunning knockouts and intense rivalries.
that piston-like left hand of Ankalaev.
Magomed Ankalaev trying to get Cutelaba out of there!
Magomed was born in Makhachkala, the capital of Dagestan, in the summer of 1992. However, he started martial arts only in college. At first, he took up Greco-Roman wrestling, and later switched to combat sambo. At the age of 18, Ankalaev joined the Highlander Fight Club and began practicing MMA. In 2014, he won the national championship at light heavyweight, defeating the current Bellator champion Vadim Nemkov in the final. Later, Ankalaev performed at the World Championships, where he would not meet his equal either. Having accumulated numerous victories in amateur tournaments, Magomed decided to prioritize a professional career. In 2016, with a 4-0 record, he signed a contract with a local promotion, Akhmat. Over the next year, Ankalaev dispatched everyone they put in front of him, winning and defending the light heavyweight title along the way. With a 9-0 resume, the 25-year-old prospect entered the world's biggest promotion. In his debut, he faced a jiu-jitsu black belt, Paul Craig. The Scottish grappler was coming off a losing streak, and only a win could keep him the job. Ankalaev took the center of the octagon, methodically working in a stand-up.
Guys,
Oh, that was a nice body. Oh, look at
the
this.
shot there from Paul Craig, who now eats a knee as well.
Submit.
After a series of attempts, Craig managed to secure a takedown, but very soon found himself lying on the back under a rain of blows.
As Ankalaev tries to get past the hands, the legs, and lands straight into the mount position as well. Ferocious finish.
In the second frame, Magomed was still advancing, throwing boxing combinations.
Last two fights in the Ankalaev's 100%. Oh, look at that break.
The opponent took the fight to the
That's
mat
what he was looking for. He was.
and lost the positional battle yet again.
From it.
Ankalaev spent the rest of the round in side control, causing the damage. At the outset of the third, the Dagestani stepped on the gas.
Lovely combination there from the Russian.
Following a failed finishing spurt and an ill-timed back fist from Craig,
Still in on the clinch. Oh, spinning elbow attempt
Magomed settled in a dominant position and got busy on top.
to drive it.
The neck, the kind of top of the back.
All signs pointed to a one-sided victory, although everything flipped on its head in the dying moments.
Contest.
Oh, look at this. Beautiful work by Paul Craig.
Big triangle set up.
Oh, another tap.
Dying seconds.
The tap came with just 1 second left on the clock.
That's very incredibly impressive from Paul Craig.
Such a demoralizing defeat hurt the newcomer's stock. Ankalaev now had to prove he belonged on the biggest MMA stage.
Turned around that quick before.
The return took place at an event in Russia. This time, Magomed ran into a Kyokushin karate practitioner, Marcin Praknio. The Pole was also coming off a rough defeat. From the word go, Ankalaev was expertly controlling the distance, firing meaningful shots.
Oh, beautiful. Well, is Ankalaev. He's not using too many of them. Oh,
The discouraged Praknio tried to throw back, but his timing was way off.
Must have been. Right exchange here.
3 minutes into the contest, Magomed set up the finishing sequence.
Ankalaev comes in, counters, beautiful chopping right hand, starts with these uppercuts, and it's this head kick.
Having intercepted the incoming attack, Ankalaev launched a thunderous high kick that shattered the guard. The Russian light heavyweight snatched a performance of the night bonus, confirming that the previous bout was just a fluke. He came back 5 months later. The guy across was the former Brave Promotion champion, Klidson Abreu, with 6 finishes in a row, and the scalps of Viktor Nemkov and Johnny Walker. Ankalaev, a southpaw, chose to stand orthodox against a fellow lefty. After a brief feeling-out process, both athletes went at it.
To stop the trip.
Yeah, short, tight punches on the inside.
He wobbled.
The encouraged Brazilian moved in and immediately ran into a short uppercut that broke his nose.
Oh, that was a nice short right uppercut. As Abreu level changed here, bang, right on the nose.
Sensing the danger on the feet, Abreu pulled guard. Magomed continued to inflict pain on the ground anyway. In the second frame, the Russian was the faster striker, uncorking uppercuts on multiple occasions.
The uppercut again. Nice jab.
Ankalaev was in command of the range until the final horn, getting a well-deserved unanimous decision victory.
Not really interested in the defense.
Nice elbow.
The corner team of Ankalaev said that you've done all the work.
Solid work against a difficult opponent and an important step towards the top 15. In November of 2019, the Dagestani stand-up specialist performed at an event in Moscow. He shared the cage with Congo representative Dalcha Lungiambula. Under the nickname Champion, Dalcha made a successful UFC debut, had not lost in 4 years, and was considered a promising up-and-comer.
Ankalaev here in Moscow.
Ankalaev applied pressure right away, piercing the adversary's defense from a distance.
2018 against Marcin.
Waiting for the right moment, Lungiambula struck back with a looping overhand.
It's beautiful.
Oh! He's also never fought.
The blow forced the Russian to retreat, albeit not for long.
Muscles up. Fill those muscles up with that.
Magomed kicked off round 2 with a snappy jab. The puzzled counterpart decided to bring the action to the canvas, but ended up on his back.
Drop his level.
Oh, nice.
On the ground, he ate a couple of hefty elbows.
Looks like we're going to see this now.
At the beginning of the third, Ankalaev landed a leaping hook before being possessed by Anderson Silva's spirit.
Comfortably.
We know.
The front kick was so hard you could hear the cracking sound from across the street.
Let's listen.
A strike that would make old legends proud won the Dagestani another Performance of the Night bonus. It was clear to everyone a new force emerged in the division.
Kicked his chin into orbit. Wow!
With 3 victories in a row, Magomed was matched up against Ion Cutelaba. The Moldavian Hulk drew attention to the confrontation. Nevertheless, the fight ended in just 38 seconds. Cutelaba got caught coming in and faked being wobbled, trying to lure the patient Ankalaev into exchanges. Clearly, the referee intervened too early. The athlete was defending and throwing back. As a result, the promotion decided to set up a rematch.
Here we go, round 1 of this rematch.
Magomed opened the contest with a signature front kick. Meanwhile, Ion was relentlessly pressing forward, investing into single shots.
Circling off to the...
The Dagestani endorsed the counter-puncher role.
Landing his own punches.
Ankalaev with a knockdown, Cutelaba back to...
And the plan paid off.
That piston-like left hand of Ankalaev.
Magomed Ankalaev trying to get Cutelaba out of there! Unconscious!
A lightning-fast pull-counter combo floored Cutelaba. A series of follow-up strikes left no room for excuses.
Watch the speed of this combination. Oh my goodness.
Ankalaev's third knockout in the promotion.
Не, суети с ним особо такого не было, это спорт.
Magomed entered 2021 with a showdown versus a Kyokushin karate master, Nikita Krylov. Since joining the UFC 8 years prior, Krylov amassed a 12-5 record and was ranked 8th at light heavyweight.
Yeah, John.
especially when we go from.
Despite an early takedown, the Miner made no real use of it.
His UFC debut all the way back in UFC.
All right, here we go, back on the open.
The athletes got back to their feet and started exchanging from a distance.
Looks on the feet.
Really trying to generate a lot of power. He's just got
Kick, you can't just let it land.
Ankalaev leaned into his boxing, while Krylov relied more on kicks and took the first round on the judges' scorecards.
A moment ago as well, some redness on that left side of Ankalaev.
In the second, Magomed began to apply pressure, delivering impactful offerings.
that was a powerful knee.
The opponent tried to counter, constantly running into a check hook.
Trying to do damage with every shot.
But looked like Ankalaev was able to avoid it.
Before the break, the Dagestani took the fight to the mat and stayed on top until the horn.
Ankalaev.
Krylov doing a pretty good job defensively.
In the beginning of the third lap, he connected with another accurate lead hook.
Weren't willing to go for it.
The blow forced Krylov to look for a takedown, but he quickly found himself pinned to the ground.
Nice.
The closing minutes were all Ankalaev dominating from top position.
Yeah, I think that puts him
That he's capable of doing this and beating you up and not getting.
The unanimous decision win placed Magomed in the top 10, paving the way to the belt. Only the stiffest challenges lied ahead. In October 2021, Ankalaev kicked off the main card of UFC 267. He was opposed by a former title challenger, Volkan Oezdemir, who was coming off a loss to Yuri Prochazka.
All right, this fight clock is brought.
Oezdemir came out guns blazing.
From Volkan Oezdemir. Just missed with that.
Having withstood the storm, Ankalaev found the right range and blasted a quick 1-2. He continued to build a lead, blocking the rival's attacks in the bud.
He's doing take a step to the side.
Round 2 began with knees in the clinch.
It may be time for Volkan to...
Volkan decided to break into close quarters, but was immediately stopped by a trademark check hook.
He's outstriking you and he's landed the bigger one.
The Dagestani spent the last minute controlling the opponent against the fence.
To get upright and ate a big elbow there.
In the last frame, Magomed had a clear speed advantage.
Right now, I feel like if he wanted to be more aggressive himself,
He could have chased a finish, yet chose to avoid risk, remembering the lessons of his debut. He displayed a masterful performance, resulting in a unanimous decision victory.
That's such a high land rate.
With number 6 next to his name, in March of 2022, Magomed received an opportunity to headline a UFC event for the first time. The counterpart was a former title challenger, Thiago Santos. The Brazilian, who once took John Jones to a split decision, was a gatekeeper to the top 5.
This fight clock is brought to you by...
Both guys were famous for their power, so the start was uneventful.
taking their time.
Halfway into the opening stretch, the Brazilian exploded with combinations.
You gotta do you.
Ankalaev's counterhooks were on point.
The chin.
Oh, shot from Ankalaev.
Magomed kept his man on the back foot, but rarely pulled the trigger.
Oh, nice.
Santos was constantly on the move, mostly throwing high kicks.
2 minutes to go, round 2.
And things took a 180-degree turn.
Jiu-jitsu whiz. Oh, he got
Santos wobbled him.
there. Now he's gonna try to wrestle.
Oh! Santos with the knockdown.
That's the power that Santos possesses.
In the third, Ankalaev resumed the offensive.
And still be competitive in the later rounds.
Back down.
Thiago circled around the cage, firing back from time to time.
Great shots right now. In from Ankalaev.
There was more action happening. Still, none of the fighters had a clear advantage.
All the time.
Final seconds of round 3.
However, it was the Dagestani striker who initiated the exchanges, investing in short sequences.
Nice body shot.
Oh, big left from Ankalaev.
Yeah.
Oh, big left.
The Brazilian was generally inactive, except sudden scary bursts.
Jumps in with the
maybe he
knee, and
knows it's
Santos
time.
starting to feel it.
Late into the fourth lap, Magomed managed to secure the first takedown, seizing the initiative.
But it doesn't offer a chance to really finish.
In the final frame, he kept doing just enough to win on the scorecards.
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev went 5 rounds for the first time, won by unanimous decision, and climbed into the top 5 of the division. In summer of 2022, Magomed clashed with another former title challenger, Anthony Smith. Lionheart was on a roll with 3 Ws, all by way of stoppage.
Fight clock is brought to you by Timex.
The biggest moments from round 1 were a high kick and a low kick from Ankalaev. After the break, Smith entered with shots and initiated a clinch, but all his takedown attempts were stifled by the Dagestani.
From Ankalaev.
Eventually, Magomed got on top and let the hammers fly.
Oh, big crowd strikes from Ankalaev now.
Oh my goodness.
Anthony's head became an anvil, so the referee had to call it off.
Oh, these are horrible. Big shots. Huge shots. He's coming to fight back.
That'll do it. Montalvo steps in. 9 in a row for the oncoming.
Ankalaev owns the longest winning streak in the UFC Light Heavyweight division, and he is going to challenge for the title, recently vacated by Prochazka. The athlete's head coach claims that Magomed has not yet shown even 50% of his full potential. Luckily, he's got time left to blossom into the best version of himself and grab a UFC title along the way.
We know.
If you liked the video, hook that like button, subscribe to the channel, and vote for sport.
That piston like left hand of Ankalaev.